Hi, it's Rex Sykes, and I want to provide another update simply to say first, there's an update and some commentary here. There's more fires and more countries, Canada, Israel, Mexico, others are sending people and equipment here to help us in the United States. Now, I'm not sure when people will realize this, but we're one species. I mean, governments try to divide us, they categorize us, separate us, classify us so that they can tax us and direct us and mobilize us so that we can oppose each other if it comes to that, if we think it's necessary and we need to protect what we think we need to protect. Now, this may or may not be in part of human behavior. Some, might say, well, humans are selfish or they band together to protect what they have. Could be. But it is what we've grown up with through the rise of societies from the dawn of humankind to now, through bands and tribes and then state governments, etc. So we are conditioned to think this way on a national level. In fact, on a global level, all around the world, and on a local level and an individual level. We want to protect our own. We want to keep safe. We want to prevent others from taking what we have because we think what we have is important to keep and preserve. And sadly, what fires and floods and earthquakes and tornadoes do is they show us the impermanence of all the things that we have, even the impermanence of human and animal life. And we can lose everything, but if we still have our family and our friends, we can be like those people around the world who, though they have nothing, are incredibly happy, and they're loving, they're kind, and they're generous to each other. We could think otherwise than how we think. In other words, it doesn't mean that it's intrinsic to humans, but it does mean that it's learned and it's conditioned and it's habitual, and it's been going on for a long time. And so we maintain it because, one, we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to go counter to what we know. It is habit. It's wired in that regard. So it would mean letting go. It would mean admitting there are other ways, alternatives that maybe we don't consider or that we refuse to consider. But consider this. Even though we've grown up in this way for centuries, there are countries right now coming to our aid as we go to other countries and provide aid for them. And there are people and first responders and equipment to help us in our time of great need. And we do that for their times in their time of great need. And sometimes it's quid pro quo. It's transactional. It's I'm helping you, I'm scratching your back, so you help me, or there's a profit motive in it, or a political power motive in it. But sometimes it's just people helping people, because that's the right thing to do, because we're only one species. And that's why the policy to support allies from their side to us or our side to them when in need is important. And it's important for us, our country, our states, our people, to support this when they are in need, whether it's your family, your neighbors, your city, your state, your county, your country, or a country next to you, or a country across the ocean. We're all on one rock, for crying out loud. We are all neighbors, separated by invisible boundaries, political boundaries, religious boundaries, and all sorts of fabricated things that make no sense. Yes, I mean, some animals protect their territory, but also look how they cooperate together in nature, even while they sometimes feed on each other, right? I mean, we have to understand that we can do better if we're at the top of the food chain. For God's sakes, we should act like we're at the top of the food chain and be responsible and accountable and stewards of each other and caretakers of each other, not oppose each other, not fight each other, not constantly have battles and invade each other. It's no better for the looters than the governments that go into other countries and assume what they have. If you invade a country, you're looting that country, you're killing people, you're destroying things. If you invade someone's home to rob them or burglarize them, You're doing the same thing. It's just a matter of scale. If you go in and you take something out of your mom's purse, you're violating that person. And can't we just get along? Can't we just learn to live peacefully and act as good Samaritans? What's going on with countries sending in planes and people to help us is how it is supposed to be. It's the injunction in the Bible in Leviticus to care for those from other countries, to take care of the people near you, neighbors, strangers, the Samaritans who you may not like, but who are in need. That's how it's supposed to be. We collaborate and we cooperate and we make it better for everyone and help reduce the suffering for all. Now, some people get this. Some governments may get this. But sadly, some people and politicians, especially here in our country, in the USA, don't understand what working together for the good of all means. And so bravo for those who help us. Bravo to those who help us, and bravo to those whom we can help, and bravo to us for whom we can help. Bravo to us for, whomever it is. In other words, kudos if you get it. If you understand that your role, my role, our government's role, our representative government's role is to represent the people for and by the people, to protect the Constitution and the laws of this land so that all people have access to resources, but not just here. We should apply this everywhere. Bravo for all those who help us and those that we can help. We ought to, and we should continue to. We need a government that connects people and connects all the people around the world so that all the people everywhere do better. It's through connection, relationships. If you don't know your neighbors, you have no connection to them. You may or may not care about them. You may fear them, and they may not be worthy of fear. Yes, you can be proven wrong. Somebody's always going to say, yes, but what about this? And what about that? And how about this? And what about this? And there's always counterexamples to everything. There will always be an argument against something that's proposed. That's maybe human nature. Every battery has a positive and negative pole. But the point is, on a battery, the positive and negative pole work together in order to produce the energy to drive your car or power whatever it is. We need to do the same thing. We need to come together in connection, in relationships, get to know those around us and befriend them, not oppose them. We need to collaborate and cooperate. It's not about competition. Competition was the rise of the industrial age. We had to compete for resources, compete for profits, compete for market share, compete for airtime, compete for this, compete for that, crush your competition, 10x your efforts, take massive action. And we don't. What we need to do is be nicer and kinder and gentler and more caring and understanding and compassionate to help all of us. The people going through this right now need help. It doesn't matter who gives it, black or white or red or yellow or brown or whatever. Help is help. Doesn't matter if it's fat or thin or tall or short or male or female. And it shouldn't matter what the political affiliations are or the religious affiliations are. We shouldn't have these classifications and categorizations that divide us and separate us and cause us angst and the willingness to harm each other. We should come together and go, yes, we're diverse. Okay. The horrible word right now, diverse. We're diverse. We come in all kinds of flavors and shapes and sizes and everything, but we're one species on one planet, on one landmass, essentially surrounded by ocean, spinning around the sun. Through collaboration and connection and cooperation, we can rise together and make a difference for everyone, for all. When my brother helps me, I want to help my brother. When I help my brother tends to want to help me. That's the way it works. We need to learn to live together and give together and be peaceful together and support and uplift each other and edify and inspire each other and increase the joy and well-being and the health and welfare of people everywhere. Let's remember this. And it's not just something to do in a crisis. Crisis consolidates us. It draws our attention. The media focuses on it. It's a day in, day out news cycle. It's in our awareness, but use it to wake up, not to just have it go and then repeat the same mistakes and have the same costs, financial costs, human life costs, emotional costs, mental costs, healthcare costs, relationship costs. It's a practice to do always, to give care and help to them in need, regardless of their station in life, regardless of their nationality, regardless of their gender, regardless of anything. We are one species. Can we please begin to act like it? I thank all those who rush in, who sacrifice their lives, whether they're paid or volunteer, whether the neighbor trying to help a neighbor put out a fire or do something or protect some animals. I applaud that. And I applaud those countries that come to help us. And I applaud us when we go to help other countries. Sometimes the motives aren't pure, but it's still help. So can we begin to act like we're all brothers and sisters on one planet and start doing good for each other? Instead of tolerating each other, let's celebrate each other. Let's embrace each other, love each other, uplift, edify, heal, bless, and help prosper each other. Because we can. Would you join me in this? Would you join me in this? I sure hope so. What you can do is help share. If this message resonates with you, share it. Subscribe, because there's more. And it's not that I want your subscription as much as I want to get the message out. But subscribe, share, like, comment, engage, do something to help other people. Let's help each other, help each other. And in that way, all of us are helped. I love you. Much love, peace, and blessings.